Yo, you mean to tell me you ain't never heard of Keep It Real Reloaded? What? Are you serious? Keep It Real Reloaded? Man, just watch this.
Your wife is right.
In defense of TV though. And welcome back. Keep It Real Reloaded. Back on the scene with a gangster lean in Studio 69 in Bloomingdale, Illinois. I'm your host, the often imitated, never duplicated, the legendary Robert Wyndon, and I got a power-packed show for you today. I told y'all all week, I know y'all seen my promotions, the brandy in the background. I got some great guests today, great drinks, great food, great topics, and we're gonna get it started. And y'all gonna see a little bit of something different on the panel today, and I know y'all probably gonna miss it, but hey, I'm gonna slide over here to my left, your right. My man, Leonard Spates, the best man he could be at all times, correcting what needs to be corrected. And you can find Lenny, where they can find you at, brother?
Find me on Facebook, Leonard Spates III. That's pretty much it though, I ain't really on social media like that. Find me on Facebook, or you can find me at Winnebago County Jail, either one.
Winnebago County Jail, here to serve and protect. And to him, you got one of the most anointed little singers or people I've ever seen, even though, you know, she do got heathen tendencies, but the Lord is gonna see her through. You know what I mean? It's always a ram in the bush, ain't it?
Always.
Miss Andrea Johnson. Andrea Johnson is here. Go ahead, how they can find you?
Facebook, LinkedIn, erisondan@gmail.
You looking for a job on LinkedIn?
No. Is that what that's for?
Yeah. That's what that's for.
No, it's to keep you linked. Keep you connected to social awareness.
Oh, okay. Find me on LinkedIn. I am looking for a job. And over here, to my right, she just wandered in on the set. Ain't even supposed to be here. She ain't supposed to be here. Carissa, what's your name?
Blaylock.
No, it's not.
Blaylock Harrison.
Blaylock Harrison. She needs to go in and get rid of that hyphenate because this man paying bills in the crib. Stop playing games with it. And if you need an anointed cookie made or any type of pastries to get your diabetes up.
That's right.
And a banana pudding. It's your girl. Where can they find you at?
On Tuesdays, I'm usually at prayer.
Tuesday.
Okay. Okay. Bye.
On Tuesday.
6:30. Tuesday night prayer, Living Gospel, 1515 Dundee Avenue. Wednesday Bible study, 7 o'clock.
Lord,
Thursday, I'm at choir rehearsal. Friday.
Social media.
Oh, social media. You can find me on Instagram, Carissa Chanel, or on Facebook, Carissa Chanel, Baylor Hairston.
You got a Twitter?
No, I do have a Twitter, but I don't know what's
Talk about
going
you can
on.
find me at 6:30 at prayer. And sliding over here at the end of the table, all-state cornerback, receiver, running back. What else you play?
Basketball.
Hoops. Whatever you want, however you want to get it, you can get it. My man's Terrence Blaylock. And where can they find you at?
Find me on Facebook under TB, T-E-E-B-E-E. You can find me on Instagram at Nawtizzle, N-A-W-T-I-Z-Z-L-E. You can find me on my Facebook music page at Nawty. Snapchat, all that. You know. I got it all.
Snapchat. Shirt off.
Wrap it off.
I hear you. I hear you. So like I told you today, hey, these are my guests today, phenomenal guests. And we're going to get into it today. So I got a plethora of things that I like to talk about. Yeah, I'm use plethora. Things that I wanted to talk about this week. My wife gave me a hard time talking about I need friends and I like friends because that's going to come up. Friends will let you down. Friends won't be around when you need something. I feel you. But we're going to talk about, the first thing we're going to talk about today, first topic of the day, is what makes up or constitute good sex. In your mind, when you had that person or people, whatever you went to, get you off right, what make that move right? What set that move? What set that table for you? I ain't going to start that one off, but I do have mine, or a few of them. But I'm going to go ahead and go over here. Miss Harrison Blaylock.
My prayer closet.
After she come from the closet.
After I'm on my knees, I get back on my knees.
Oh, Lord. So what you use?
You
should have my cousins over here.
You got to go on your knees twice.
You got to get on your knees
One
twice.
for God and one for Mr. Harrison.
You got to come right here.
But what constitutes or what makes up good sex?
Good sex. For one, it depends on what mood I'm in. Mood constitutes what I'm gonna want. But at the same time, I think for women, most women, you have to mentally lubricate me.
Jesus.
Yes, lubrication. Mentally. Yes, mentally lubricate.
Yo, I've never heard that in my
And that's an issue.
That's a problem.
That is an issue. Men, if you have not heard of mental lubrication,
Jesus.
you wasn't doing it right. You wasn't fucking. You wasn't right.
Mental lubrication.
So mental lubrication,
Uh-huh.
let me educate you.
Educate. Please educate me.
Mental lubrication is letting your partner know hours prior to you guys actually in the act that she's wanted, that you're turned on by her, that you are attracted to her. It's when she goes to the bathroom, you text her. Man, I was watching your ass walk as you went to the bathroom.
Yes,
Can't
sir.
wait till you get back. This is like dinner conversations. Like all of this, that is mental lubrication. You can have a 3-inch dick. If that woman is mentally lubricated, you think I'm joking with you.
She done went straight to the G-way.
I mean, it's not even, because really,
She's in the book.
Hello. And yet, see, I told you I better meet me at Tuesday prayer to get all of this. If you have a woman's mind, the panties ain't nothing.
Yeah.
So for me, it's what you're doing. Like, what have you done to make me feel wanted, sexy, like sexually in control? You guys have a lot of power outside of the bedroom. That I think women enjoy that. I definitely do.
So you like to be mentally lubricated.
I do.
And that's going
It's
along
a
with
necessity.
It is.
It
a
is because
necessity.
you don't got to do a lot of other lubrication if you've done the rest of it.
Right.
Let's slide over here to Lenny.
That's what
Lenny.
It's the truth, man.
Lenny, now that we all have been mentally lubricated,
Okay,
what about, so you should be ready right now.
Right, I guess after the mental lubrication, as a man, I can equate it like to what I know best sports. Jordan. I'm Jordan in the bedroom, but to win a championship, I need some help from Pippen. So she gotta need some Pippen. She gotta give me a little help also. I can't have a girl who just you gotta give something back. Give it back. You know what I mean? So we both in this a team sport. That to me though, when we both get into it, and that's when it's that.
So what you need her to give back?
Man, come on.
Hey, I'm just
Give that back,
I get it back.
Give that back.
What you need her to do? Shoot. Lord have mercy. What about you, Andrea? You said after you've been mentally lubricated and you done gave that back. What that back is. That sounds strange. I'm gonna say, go ahead. Get that back.
Well, I'll just say you have to be willing, it has to be somebody that you're willing to explore things with. You have some conversation about it even before, prior to, and explore some ideas about what you think is sexy, what you think is something that will attract you or bring out the best in you. And for me, honey, there's got to be some words involved. I believe your highest level of agreement is for the human species is your words. And I have a problem if you quiet.
Okay.
Yeah.
You need to say something.
You have to say something.
It doesn't even need to be coherent, but it needs to be understood.
So when you say you gotta say something,
You gotta
So
say
you
something.
mentally lubricated with your, and you trying to get a
Well,
little bit of that
it
back.
ties to that
It does.
because the
Okay.
sex for women, sex is almost 85% mental
Okay.
before it is physical. So if you're mentally stimulated all day at work while she's driving home, she hot and she ready, the conversation continues. It just goes a little bit deeper because ain't nobody tapping your bedroom walls. Shouldn't be anyway. So you should be able to say whatever you want to say to get that best response out of her mentally. Like, girl, I don't want it from nobody else but you. Turn it around, flip that up, holler, scream, do something.
Right.
So you
Because
want-
when you putting in your best work, how do you feel when somebody like,
Right.
Right.
well, I was concentrating? No.
Concentrate don't mean concentrate when you at work.
Say those words that's in your mind.
Right.
They there.
Okay.
They are there.
Something.
So here's my question. So it sounds like that you're a little filthy. So that's what it sounds like to me. That you're a little filthy.
A lot of
So give me a phrase that you like to hear when you in doing what you're doing.
And just start there.
Okay.
That is a good, yes.
Start there. That's always a good conversation starter.
Okay. Shit, girl. Okay.
That is.
You be like,
Okay.
okay. Right. It automatically makes your back
Back.
bend.
Back.
It makes your back
Back. There you go. And now I understand. Now I get it.
That does.
Make that back. Okay. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna let Terrence close it out. So for me, and I love all that. Like I've been saying this for the last 4 episodes, probably my whole life. I used to be good at marinating that fish for sure. I don't know what happened between that mine is,
Yeah, I
is
get
that
what you're
mental
saying.
lubrication. I marinate my talk game, my mouthpiece used to be on point. I don't know what I done dropped the ball in between there.
If you think you have, you have.
No, I know I have. You know what I mean? Because I guess because, you know, it's hard. It's not even comfortable. I think it's hard for me. I think it's hard, like, because, you know, we pay bills together. You know, I'm like, babe, you know, I want to lick your hand. You know, to get home. I think I should say that,
That's
but
why
I'm
you have
like,
to be-
it's hard to say that when you like, Dad, I got to pick up Elias.
Yeah.
You know, you get naked for about 4 seconds. You know,
Yeah.
I think that
Reality.
in that aspect, in my reality, I do have to pick that up. But I think I'm more of a person, for me, to be honest with you, that constitute good sex and what can get me right. I'm a vibe person. I'm a vibe and a connection person for sure. I feel like, you know, like, and I'm an old cop. I'm like a 78 Cadillac. You know what I'm saying? I need to be warmed up. So I'm like, y'all, I'm even for dudes. You gotta be warmed up during the course of the day. I know I do. So you gotta send something nasty to me, or you gotta say something, babe, I can't wait till you get home. We're gonna cook
We
this
forget to
chicken.
do that
Y'all
to
do.
women.
Y'all do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cook this
We don't
chicken,
do
baby,
that.
and then I'm gonna give you the best head you ever had. You know what I'm saying? Now, if the head right, Robert there every night. You hear what I'm saying? So that, you see what I'm saying? That head, that's you know what I'm saying? If she's setting that throat out properly, and that connection is right,
When we talking about head or sucking dick, those are two different things.
I'm talking about setting that throat
No,
out.
they're not.
Yes, they are.
How?
I kind of.
That's another topic. Yeah.
So you saying you sucking dick in the car?
That's another
Like
subject.
you in the car in the parking lot, you
No,
sucking
I
dick.
get what she trying to say.
He know what you're saying.
Well, I know the difference.
I don't know the difference
We'll
either.
talk about it later.
This is what I'm saying. You need to set that throat out, and then, you know what I mean? But no, seriously.
Right, he told us.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. All that.
Finish your thought.
You talk about hugging. That's what she said.
You talk to the American public.
Different mood.
Hey, listen. If you
Sometimes
said-
it's easier.
You're right. If the vibe is right and you said that, if the vibe is right and you setting that throat out, we gonna be all night, like Beyonce say. We gonna be all night. Set that throat out and we vibing. That's what constitutes good sex to me. That throat and
Let
And
him
that
say that
vibe.
word one more time.
I'm a 78 Cadillac. You gotta warm me up during the course of the day. I come in, eat your chicken you cook, set that thunk out, and we in it. Terrence, go to close us out, brother.
First, I guess I say Patron. Nah.
No, couple shots of Patron.
No, I mean, that's for me because women, for me, I look at women as women to me have all their different type of different sexual things in a woman that I see in every different type of woman. A woman can be sexy at how she walk. A woman can be sexy at how she talk. A woman can be sexy just to how she just might just do something with her hair, you know what I'm saying, and a move she might make. So it's just a lot of different things I can look at. And like she said, you gotta, what you saying, you gotta marinate or you gotta mentally lubricate. You gotta mentally lubricate that mind. If I'm with somebody, I get what she's saying, because if I'm into a woman, I'm gonna say something all day, like if she walking, I'm gonna look at her and be like, girl, oh, man, or just, she might, have on some shorts or something, and I might grab her thigh like, girl, your thigh looking good today or something, So I'm always talking and running my mouth when it comes to a person I'm into, But to me, I guess what constitute good sex is me being really into you,
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm really into you, I'm gonna let it go and say whatever and do whatever and just talk smack all day and
Okay. Now I got a question. I do have a question, and it's in the same vein, because Terrence, you're the only one on here that ain't married, right?
Right.
And the rest of us are married. So does that matter? Because I can say for myself, I guess, does it matter? Were you better when you were single at the making up of this? Like I think like when you're in the actual act of sex, and you've already been mentally lubed, you already gave a little bit of that back, you done talk nasty, you done felt the thigh, and you got some thug. That's important. That thug. Does performance, the actual performance in the bedroom, matter? Were you a better performer when you were single, or in a relationship, or married in a relationship? You was not. She said she was a virgin. So
I'll answer a little bit, just a second, and just say for me, it's gotten better as marriage, because the longer you're with somebody, the longer you can develop the sexual relationship. A lot of times when you're single, it's hit or miss. It could be good the first time, and you have to work up to that, because everybody has different chemistries and different vibes. So you have to, but in marriage, I think you have to make it more of a point to do all the other stuff. But the actual physical part, when we do get it, because most of the time, especially if you got kids that you share in your bed with and all that stuff, by the time you do get it and it's a good one, it's going to be right, because it's done been too long since the last right one.
No, that's true. That's true.
But in the essence of it, I think I'm better married, because my inhibitions are no longer where they used to be, or I don't feel like I have to perform. So I know I have to perform, but I don't feel like I'm still interviewing for the job.
Right.
We passed probation, so we can explore everything.
You done made the 90 days.
I passed my 90 days. My insurance has kicked in.
There you go.
So that's what
There it is. What about anybody else? What about
me being single?
Yeah.
I'm always feel like I gotta perform. Man.
Always.
I mean, my insurance ain't kicked in yet, so I'm over the 90 days. You know what I'm saying?
You on 90 days every time, huh?
I mean, I'm always going in like it's a game 7.
That's how you should do it every time.
Yeah, I mean, if I wasn't with somebody and we talking or whatever, and it gets to that point where we gonna think we're gonna do that, then first of all, I don't want my name to come out your mouth.
No, that's so true.
Terrible.
That's true.
So I always
that's
feel
so
like
true.
me and a single guy, if I'm gonna get to that point with somebody that it's game 7 and I gotta hit this clutch shot.
Just keep smashing. Andy, what about you, bro?
Well, I've been married for a long time, young. So, but I mean, like Andrew said, is in the married life, man. When hit that time, it's the timing, you know. For me, my kids are getting older now, and they out more, you know what I'm saying? So for us, it's like, we get, you off work, and it's 12, we getting it in, we finna go, you know what I'm saying? And we don't have to,
hurry up.
right, we don't have to worry about, I ain't gotta worry about, you know, what she do like, what she don't like, and this and that, because we've been together so long, we connected, so we finna, it's always gonna be, it's always good. When we get our shot, we hit it.
I have a 1 and a 3-year-old.
You ain't having no sex.
I usually have like threesomes. Somebody's at the end of the bed. Yeah, I'm having threesomes with the 1-year-old and the husband. I have not had sex with just my husband in the bed in a long time.
Lord have mercy.
Somebody's making a pallet on the floor. Me and my husband have made pallets on the floor. So my sex life is all over the place with them 2 kids.
How you doing that? You sneaking? You sneaking?
Y'all sneaking.
Y'all
In my own bed.
Sneaking and looking.
One time, me and we were having sex, and I felt somebody rubbing on my toe. It was not my husband. It was the 1-year-old. I said, "This is just getting too." Who's that rubbing on my toe? Little Sam, man, get off my toe!
You gotta keep little beating them
It's
out.
time, man.
They gotta go.
Kids out the room.
I'm in a weird place right now with sex.
That's why.
So yeah, we don't even. We're just happy that we can see each other naked. Because we don't even see. All of our clothes are never off. It takes too long to try to put them back up.
Y'all have no t-shirt. Like when you was a teenager,
One
you
leg
kept the
is
t-shirt
wrong.
up. One leg out is pretty decent.
One butt right up, because it's just
Blood,
not
slide over. That's that.
It
Yeah.
seems like
There's a lot going on with us right
You
now.
gotta play it on your head. Slide them across over.
We leaving kids in the garage while they sleep. It's a lot, yeah.
Well, I think honestly that it has. I think, like you said, I mean, as far as being, especially being married, it's like so much time that you guys have apart that when you do, like I know for me, for instance, we got so much time apart, and with the different things that we're doing in life, and then we got a 16-year-old and an 8-year-old, and then, you know, things in life change when your wife got to work, you know, so many hours, you don't feel right. Like, I've been at home all day, babe, I know you've been at work for 14 hours, you think you can give me a little bit of that thought. But,
you butter it up right now. That's
what I'm saying.
Where is the tone come in on this
What you
conversation?
talking about?
You got dope too.
Right.
What she on the show to talk about?
I'm here representing all sides.
Well, you know what I mean? You know,
Set that tone out right.
Right. You gotta grow.
I ain't got no, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problem. I don't have no problem with that. It's just,
It makes the 14 hours worth it, trust me.
all right, so when she come home,
It's like, okay, you bring your throat, then I'll bring my
I'm just
throat.
gonna be like, boo, come upstairs. I'm gonna try. Because that's what I'm saying. I know I'm the one who has fallen off in the marriage because I guess I don't feel right. You know what I'm saying? Like being filthy like I used to be. I don't know.
Here's my motto, reward good behavior.
Okay.
She going and putting in 14 hours, that's a great behavior.
That's a great behavior.
Reward good behavior.
That's very true.
Well, we gonna-
When you bring home them bonuses and them overtime checks, I make a mental note. It's reward night.
For real.
Look, no taking, ladies and gentlemen.
Make sure that chicken and rice is cooked.
I'm gonna try to set that thoke out this week and see how the Lord bless.
What you doing tonight?
I gotta call something, guys. But that's gonna close out the first session. What makes up a Constitute good sex? Make sure that you are mentally lubricated. You got that back. Talk a little filthy. Do all of them. Touch a thigh. Smack a ass. And set out that dope. You're gonna be all right. We'll be back. Keep it real reloaded. Welcome back. Keep it real reloaded. And we back off our first segment, what constitutes or makes up great sex. And I'm glad y'all decided to stay with us for this second part. Second part of this show is, y'all know that reality TV is all the rave right now with no real talent, I guess, left in Hollywood. That they are filming real people, but it's staged, I think.
Yeah.
They got scripts, but it's reality TV.
Scripted.
Reality scripted television. And there's tons of shows. One of my personal favorites is Love and Hip Hop, because of Stevie J on there. One of my other favorites, I love Stevie. I like Bring it with but like bring it. And then my favorite, my new favorite, is on Oxygen. It's called Virtually in Love. You get a chance to check that one out. But we're gonna talk about if you had your own reality show, if you was a star in your own reality show, what would be the concept? What would be the title? What would you be trying to get across to the American public to entertain these people for an hour or 30 minutes to an hour? So we're gonna start with you, Andrew. What would be your reality show?
My reality show, don't steal the idea. Somebody did on TV, one of them TBNs. Not TBN.
Who's on there?
TLC or
One of them.
Channel 11?
It would be black funerals. Black funerals. Name me one person who's gone to a black funeral and they haven't seen something that was totally entertaining that you had to text right there in the service. Who text?
So you in the black funeral?
Did they really just?
So what? So you the star of this. So tell me more about what your role will be. You just gonna be going to black funerals? And just like,
Funerals are just like weddings. They're public knowledge. They're usually in the newspaper. You just go and find out who died. Somebody's gonna tell you. Most of the time, Facebook know before the family.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's actually
Sure.
worse. That's actually horrible.
I'm so sorry. She died at 9:02 and you gotta post at 9:05. Stop, people. Let the family get all the information.
Isn't
Stop.
that awful?
It's terrible.
Oh man.
Yes, black funerals. I would be like a news broadcaster. See, over here we have. We would just interview different people. That's what you need to do, is interview the people who just got off the stage, especially the people who give the 2-minute remarks. Because not only do they go longer than 2 minutes, they haven't thought about their 2 minutes before they got the
No, absolutely not.
And just start saying.
They just start talking, and then nobody adheres to the 2-minute rule.
No.
I mean, they talk for 4 minutes and then they end it with a solo.
Jesus.
Everybody who don't get along in the family, you know, they there, it be tension, and everybody get a little something to drink. The repast, you cannot attend a black funeral and not get 45 minutes of good TV.
No,
you can't.
You can't. That's true.
Between the repast and the funeral, the ride in the limo to the church,
Oh, good.
we ain't even talking about the outfits we had to go buy before.
Oh, you gotta get a funeral outfit, Doc. You gotta get you a funeral outfit.
It's
now,
like
that's for sure.
black funeral kit. The t-shirt, the dark shades,
Yeah, actually, you gotta have
the
shit.
weed and the Hennessy. They go together.
As long as you got the
And
weed
somebody in
and
the family that can sing.
Yes.
Because we need somebody to uplift our spirit.
Somebody that can't say.
And somebody that can't sing.
Why at black funerals? I like the fact that you saying that. Because why at every black funeral, you got somebody that want to dive in the casket? Why me? Take me, Lord. Do they really want to get taken, or they just putting on a show?
No, they don't want to get taken.
No, they
because
don't.
now by the time, because usually black funerals, we 2 weeks out. They done held the body right. Because we got a GoFundMe page.
Yeah.
To help cover the funeral expenses.
Yo.
So if you really wanted to go with them, you had 2 weeks to figure it out. Now you want to get here while we got on our white
Yo.
and cut the food.
And we gonna have a white.
We're gonna have them all white. Everybody white.
Cut the fool.
You know,
Take me, Lord. Why me, Lord? Take me.
you did not want to go.
They don't want to go.
There's too many opportunities. You steady hollering, and then when you get to that funeral, you get to the burial, that's a 6-foot hole. Go on in.
Oh,
They gonna close this vault in a minute. You'll certainly stop breathing at some point down there. You ain't trying to go nowhere.
oh my God, I love
That
it.
would be my show.
I love it. The black funeral. I love the one at the black funeral. I've been to a few black funerals in my life, and I like the one who want to break down and cry, but you know they so hard they can't cry, so they just bite their lip and just rock back and forth.
That
can't-
person is always
I
there.
just can't even. And then they gotta walk out, but they normally walk out when the preacher get up there and start preaching.
Right.
And then when
They gonna cause a little commotion, throw a chair.
Right.
They got to get the attention on that for just a minute.
Just for a
Not
second.
the person that's in the casket in the front. God forbid if we give them 45 minutes,
can't
the
do it.
last 45 minutes of their time.
Them
You
lips-
got to throw chairs in the back
You
of the
gotta throw
church
chairs.
and make all the uncles rush out to come see about you.
I love that guy. I love whoever that guy is. I love him. All right, how about you, Terrence? What you think? What would be your reality?
That would be Pretty simple. I would just be called everyday guy. TV, feature me. I mean, because I'm saying this because if you know me and hung around me, you know, just my everyday life is just crazy. You know, as far as when I go places or how people perceive different things, you know, my friends be like, man, you know, they get, you know, they be like, man, like this is weird. You know what I'm saying? Like just like how people take some things, you know what I'm saying? And you know, and I would just film my everyday life, and I think the different things I do, you know, and the different outlets I go to and take.
It's interesting. I'm looking about doing a documentary about you. I need to follow you.
If you talk to my close friends, they're probably like, yeah, follow that guy.
Follow him.
It's gonna be interesting, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know if I would put a lot of it on film, but I would do it.
Oh no, you gotta put it on film, bro.
Because then that makes up to what people probably wouldn't believe that's really happening. You know?
It's day in the life of TV.
Yeah, it's crazy, you know. I mean, you know, so I would just really do that. You know, it's just between, you know, the little entertainment things I do, the little hosting things I do. Like I went to my guy's wedding last week. You know what I'm saying? I honestly don't think I'm nobody. I don't think I'm this or that. On the way to the airport, the TSA agent said, they'll know me for nothing. I'm walking, I have my little glasses on, whatever. On the way there, TSA agent said, hey, come on, superstar. On the way back from North Carolina, the other TSA said, hey, what's up, Hollywood? I don't know these people. That's just their perception. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I'm saying. Little things like that. You know, and my friends, you know, from hanging out with me started being like, man, it's kind of weird, you know what I'm saying? Like, I literally drove up, we've been in my car, listening to music, girls came by, you know, next to us, they started looking, I'm like, I ain't nobody. But my friends, and they looking, they be like, man, why is they looking at you and acting like that? So I'm just saying, I said, if I had a camera around me every day, plus the little different things I do, I would do that. Just to show, hey, this is regular, everyday guy.
Everyday guy.
But these are the things that happen.
I like it. I like the concept. What about you, Russell? Oh, you always look surprised. You know I'm coming to you.
You know what?
She got the surprise
I
eyes.
didn't really think about this one, but now that I'm thinking, I would have a show called Revelation.
Okay.
And it would be hidden cameras of like people driving home from work or in the bathroom or in the shower. I just want to know what people are doing when they're by themselves.
What?
You got to have a hidden camera.
Right.
That's what I said. All hidden cameras. I just always wanted to know. Do you know how many people are digging in their nose and farting in their cars?
All the time.
All the time. That stuff needs to be revealed. Man, I want to see it.
Lord have mercy.
You know, what are you doing in the shower? Like, what are you really doing in there? Are you peeing in there?
Yes.
Are you farting extra loud in there? I want to know.
Why do you want to know this?
Some stuff is going right. See, there's some stuff going down in these. I just want to know. Mine would be revelation, just to reveal what people are doing, like when they're by themselves, when they think no one is around, and the places where you're supposed to be by yourself.
So you want to actually watch
Like a spy.
Somebody on the
See a lot of weird
I
stuff.
do.
Why would you want to
I want to know if they're reading the back of the cartons and like.
They on their phone. They on their phone on Facebook.
I'm on Facebook.
Coming out with amazing things to write.
I don't know. I just want to see. Yeah, so that's what it is. Be like hidden camera.
Yeah, since Facebook been invented, when I'm on the toilet, I'm on Facebook.
That's what most people do. Facebook, social media.
Right. Sometimes I don't even be doing that. I just be on
Just be sitting
Scrolling up.
ain't even using the bathroom.
You see, and that's what I'm getting at. You're not really doing what you're supposed to be doing.
That's all I'm just free.
And that's what and this is what I'm, especially men.
Right.
You know it don't take you 40 hours.
45 minutes.
You in there, especially Sam if you're listening. Hey, I'm in the bathroom. It's been 2 hours.
That's because he's
He's trying to get away from them kids.
That's what it is.
He is.
But he's doing something on the other side of the wall. I want to see too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what are you doing in there? Are you driving when you're supposed to go? Like, what are you doing? That's what my show would do. Revelation.
Lord have
We
mercy.
need to reveal this stuff.
Right.
He is trying to get away with no kids, though.
Trying to get away from the
Trying to
kids.
get away with no kids. Sometimes you just need a peace of mind.
Sitting in the car, you've been home for 25 minutes and you've been out there. That's not right. If you pull up to the house, get out, help.
You gotta
Why are you still in the? And I've seen him do it before.
Right.
I've seen other one like he's been home for all this time. Are you freaking?
Yes.
And sometimes, listen, there's more. Because in his hands, he'll be hiding a little Arby's bag. So you gotta relax, you know,
Because he gotta decompress.
you know, all this, and I'm losing my
After
mind.
you get all that night, I still think about it.
Right. These
You gotta think about what you thought
these
about.
things have to be revealed. That ain't right.
Hey, I understand what brothers. I don't understand.
Yes, and then husbands all across the world are doing something they have no business doing.
Listen, man, listen. You gotta be in that car, like you said. You gotta. When you come home,
You
That's
get
the way it's
You gotta
supposed to be.
decompress.
Without smoking
It about
blunt.
is.
You trying to get his
You're
mind
gonna-
right.
You've been home for this
You gotta
long?
decompress.
That's
right,
his
buddy.
That's his way of
You
smoking.
don't get to decompress when you're a father of small
You pull
kids.
in, especially when they have small kids, you pull in the house, you gotta, all right.
That's their way of smoking the blunt without smoking the blunt.
That is. That's not
He going through his mind like, if I just keep driving,
See?
Right.
if I
I'm sure
just
he's
go
done
somewhere
that
else,
too.
I could be straight. You know what? I gotta stay here. You gotta get all that in. Let me get
You know how
let me
many
get this
people have
turkey.
probably just driven around they block
I've done
so
it.
many times? That my show's gonna reveal all of this.
Man, when I first got married, man, boy, I used to be like, I used to pass my house like 4 times, like.
Hey.
And then like then you gotta sit there and get your mind right, like, okay, I'm good. Hype yourself up, woo! Let's go! And then you in there, you ready. You
I
know
see,
what I'm
wanna see
saying?
that.
The worst.
I do want to see that.
The worst is
That
when
would
you
be
get
good.
busted though, when you get the call, why are you in the driveway?
Right.
You know, I'm paying the bill. I'm here to pay the bill. Right?
Why are you in the driveway?
That's so funny. I'm gonna go and then I'm gonna let Lenny close us out. I think mine would honestly, because I actually have thought about this, and this is before, so I'm gonna do mine. This is not. Mine would be probably if I wasn't married, Keith, a dating reality show starring me. It'll be kind of like For the Love of Ray J. I used to be in
Oh
love
my
with that.
God.
So mine would be
Those shows
different.
do pretty well though.
Mine would be different though because mine would be. I have to have mine for cable. Mine can't be on VH1.
What are you trying to
Because I'm
do?
about to be ignorant.
My show probably be, yeah.
I'm gonna be complete. I'm not gonna be user friendly. I'm gonna be ignorant. I'm not gonna have at the end champagne glasses. I
With the
might
ring
have
waiting.
I might have a shot of Hennessy because I'm project. So I'd be like, you ready to get right with Rob or something like that, and you take your shot of Hennessy, and if you don't match, you gotta bounce. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't have like none of these model chicks and made up people on my show. I want
little girls.
I want everybody from the projects. It's South Side of Chicago,
They about to
West
fight all
Side,
day on your show.
Old Hill Gardens, Inglewood, you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm saying.
Give me somebody off Roosevelt. I need all of the hood to come in here. And we ain't gonna be in no mansion. We're gonna be in a 4-bedroom apartment. Let's just keep it going.
Dating in the hood.
Get right with Rob.
one flat,
That's
okay.
it. A duplex, man. You know what I'm saying, girl? You down here, you on the south side, you go upstairs, you penthouse, baby. That's where I'm from. So you penthouse on a duplex. But that's what I have. The most project gutter chicks ever, and me. Shots of Hennessy if you make it. If not, we gonna have Uber take them home. For sure. I'm gonna get them have Uber for you. Ain't no limo, I ain't got no something. No budget, south side. Lenny, what about you? Close us out.
All right, closing this out. This might be a little controversial,
Uh-oh.
but mine's gonna be called 25 to Life.
Mercy.
25 to Life. The struggles of a black man married to a black woman.
Oh my God. That's a whole nother show.
That's a good show.
Tell us the concept of this.
Just gonna,
Right.
just gonna film
Somebody
the,
get this man a drink.
just film the craziness that goes on, man. But on the real side though, the show, my show would be more positive. I would like to show actually that there are real good black men out there who will take care of business, and I would like to incorporate other just the black man himself, you know what I'm saying, that is doing something good, man, you know, not necessarily always a married man, could be single guys, but my concept would be a group of brothers, me, myself, and some other brothers that I know,
Okay.
you know, and all showing aspects of how they live their life on a positive aspect instead of the negativity that we always portray as.
That's good.
No, that's good.
I already hear your theme music.
No, what's the
What's
music?
the name?
You ever heard the song by Ty Tribbett, Good in the Hood?
Yeah.
No.
Good in the Hood.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he's talking about, you heard it, that song, that's a good song that will be coming on the
You
show,
know
all
what?
the dads.
I think that's a real good concept, brother.
It
As
is.
far
I like
as
that.
the fact that a lot of these people, a lot of these shows or whatever don't really show, or they really don't talk about the goodness that black men do in the household. I think that'll be a tremendous show. And you made me feel really awful because I'm talking about being project.
All convictions.
But I mean, you know, it's still, you still gonna have some of that in there also, you know what I'm saying? It's all gonna come up, but it's just, it's not
I need to be
more
on, I need to be
positive.
on your show to show my positive
Right,
side.
your positive,
My show is gonna show some crazy.
My show already is.
I need to be on your show too. Just so you see my
I'm
positive.
about to come through TV. We got him on that. Energy set up. For sure. But yeah, that's gonna close out this section of Keep It Real Reloaded. If you had a reality show, that reality show, be Constitute. I like everybody's topic on here. Was pretty good, and we're gonna come back with something serious right after this. Keep It Real Reloaded. Welcome back to Keep It Real Reloaded. I just want to touch on. We're gonna talk about. I got 2 segments left in this show, and I just want to touch on this really traumatizing and hard situation that's going on in the black community today. We are losing black men at a rapid pace. And me as a black man, that kind of worries me. And I have a black son, worries me. I have a black father, and I have black brothers, cousins, friends, period. I got a lot of black people. We'll never know.
How you broke that down, right? How you broke it down? You should.
Serious. I think my serious face. That was just serious right there. And so being a black man in America is hard already because number one, it's been a tough and a kind of a hard thing to do since we actually got here from the slaveries to the 60s, getting bit by dogs, water and everything. I've actually had situations where I go into stores. I had a good job making bread. I'm in there trying to buy something. They wouldn't help me out because I was black. You know what I'm saying? Had the police stop me, racial profiling, and I was in Oak Park. You know what I'm saying? Had my Concordia Cougars jacket on, played football at the university up the street. They pulled me over, called the whole system on me, on little old me. They called, they called the police on me. Like 5 squad cars pulled me right over there on Harlem with their hands on their guns. For what? Just because I'm a black man in Oak Park and I got a jacket on that says Concordia University. So, thank God I didn't get shot. But there's brothers in the city of Chicago that the police are killing, but we also killing each other as well. These 2 ones that just happened in Baton Rouge, brother just sitting up there selling CDs. Police rushed him, had him on the ground, shot him. My man up in Minneapolis wasn't even the driver. On the passenger side of the seat, the police, you can clearly hear him say, "I need your driver's registration." The brother told him that he is a gun carrier. Card has that. He reached for it. He got 4 bullets emptied in him. So, not to say that all of the police officers are bad, but as far as black people, there are things, and black men, there are things that we do need to change in us, and that's our mental mindset and our approach. We don't have to be gangster and hard with one another at all times. We don't have to be gangster and hard all the time because they view us as wolves. And if they view us as wolves and we don't trust each other, they're not going to trust us either. So they think that when they pull us over, even if you're a good black man, that you're a wolf. So they're nervous and you're getting shot. So we have to change that mentality. That's just my take on it. So I want to go ahead and have Terrence go ahead and What's your opinion on this, brother? What's going on in your mindset with this? This old new phenomenon going on.
I know, well, out of 41 years of my life, I've never been conscious about going out into the world until now. So that's just kind of crazy, you know.
Yeah.
I've never been, until recently, about to leave to go out my door and thought about it. It's never, ever been in my mind.
Right.
And honestly, the other day I was out driving home. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I just thought to myself, like, man, should I even be out here? Why am I even out here?
Right.
You know, never had that thought. So just even having those thoughts right there is kind of troubling. You know, to have to think like that. I'm worried less from my kids than myself. You know, I have my oldest son. He's Asian and black. You know, I have to confirm to him all the time and tell him, you are black.
Yes.
You're black, you're black, you're black. Even though he's light as can be, I'm telling you black. Especially once they see me with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all the other things, they might look at you and be like, well, I don't know if you're Asian or whatever you are, just got a nice tan or whatever. But once they see me with you, then their whole opinions in their head is going to change about what they think about you, period, before you even present yourself, for one. So, with all these things with the police and all the violence, it's hard, you know. Like I was saying, they might, they said they tell us to comply, but from the things I've seen, it's like nobody even did anything to not comply.
Right.
So what do? You know what I'm saying? I'm almost at the point where if I get pulled up, I'm driving to the station. Y'all gonna have to just follow me where y'all at, and I'm just gonna pull over there. I'm serious. I'm just gonna drive right to the police
Meet me at the station.
Right. Just hey, wherever y'all follow me, charge me what y'all been charged with. But I might just drive straight to the police station. You know, depending where I'm at, what area I'm in. You know, why did they ask for? Or like, if Orlando wasn't even driving the car, why did they even talk to him? For one, why was they talking to him?
I think he
He
was
was
driving.
driving.
It
No,
was
he
the way,
wasn't.
yeah, it was the way that it was
camera.
shot.
No, the girl said the girl was driving.
Yes,
he was on the passenger
Oh,
side.
he
The
was
dude in
driving.
Minneapolis
This
was.
was, no, she was
This
in
way
the
the camera
passenger.
was?
Yeah, it looked like
because
he-
it did look
But
like
I
because
know
the
how
camera
the
was
phone was
reversed.
Okay.
So if you go back and look at the video, he wasn't the driver.
Okay, so he wasn't driving.
He
Okay.
was driving, so that makes sense for him to ask for license
Okay.
registration.
I thought he wasn't driving.
Yeah, I think everybody
Well, I can
did.
see
The way that
the
the way
how
it
the camera folks,
Yeah.
how he flipped it looked like
Yeah.
this.
Okay, he looked
you can see
like
the, he was see the wheels in front of him.
Right. He should have been faster that day.
But yeah, I mean, we have to figure out, just, as a whole, what we're gonna, how we're gonna get this problem taken care of. I think my personal belief with this whole thing, and my hope is, they want to create a racial situation. That's what I think. They're trying to create racial tension. I think that white folks, if they understand that they don't care about y'all, if y'all don't got it, and y'all ain't, we all the same boat. Until they get in their head that, yo, if we ain't got it, just like they ain't got it, they gonna come get us too. Matter of fact, they shut everything down.
Right.
They was called martial law, anything else. They're not just gonna put black folks and be like, y'all go in your house or y'all do this or that. Everybody.
Everybody.
It's gonna be everybody.
That's
So
real. That's real.
when other races start waking up and understanding, and you try to understand a little, then maybe we can start from there and start trying to build a better, situation within the whole within this country first.
I totally agree. What about you, Andre?
My take on the situation is, outside of the fact that it's unfortunate, I just have to always call in, what is like the basic procedure that you're supposed to follow as a police officer? Because he was driving the car, but if you pulled him over with the suspicion that he could have been the person that was involved in the robbery, then why didn't you wait for a second cop to pull up? What is the basic procedure? I don't even get pulled over nowadays. If you've ever been pulled over, I think in the last year, there's usually like a standard second car that comes within minutes, seconds, there's always that, and then they'll let them know I'm okay,
Right.
or stay. So if you thought this was, or you know, back in the day it was when you got pulled over when the computers was a little bit slower, you could sit in that car waiting them to come to the window for
20 minutes or so.
it seemed that way.
Yeah.
So why didn't he just wait? Okay, I think we got somebody. Back up, come on and pull up when we get here, because you could see that his fear was already to a place that was beyond, like, so. And so my other question is where is the story or the footage to back up your version of the story? Because it's been some weeks now. So if you had a story that said no, that's not what happened, produce that, and then we can look at the whole picture. But for the fact that they have not brought out anything else, it leads me to believe that this girl not lying. She has no reason, because what is your proper procedure within 30 seconds or 10 seconds that we ensued into gunfire? You went into that situation already afraid. You already went into there already too hyped. Because how do you, like when we worked at the group home, I could not write a report that said so-and-so wouldn't comply, so we put hands on. That's against our policy. Hands-on or lethal weapon should be a last resort. So your report should say, we went through this step, we went through this step, we went through this step, and then as a result, we had to get to here. And I know it doesn't happen within law enforcement when you have to make quick decisions. I get that. But you're trained. So now the problem I have with these videos that say, well, this is how you're supposed to behave when the police pulls you over. It's like, why do we have to train civilians how to just be normal civilians when you're the trained professional where our tax dollars are paying for you to have gone through this training to say you're qualified mentally, physically, to be able to endure high stress situations
With any
group of people. But because the perception is that black people are dangerous, or we have to, and then I understand because we're protected. We're privileged inside of an unprivileged group where we don't have usually those kind of encounters on a regular basis. But it doesn't take away from the reality that there is a whole other group of black citizens who do face that every single day. For the fact that this man had an extensive traffic record says to me what? What are the odds of you, if you drove for a living, what are the odds of you getting pulled over that many times without being profiling? It's almost impossible for you to have 57 tickets.
Well, he didn't have 57 tickets, he had 57 something stops. He wanted to
Exactly.
That's
So
a lot.
that's a lot. And so for people walking in and saying, well, you should have just complied. Or if you just go and there's so many others, it's like, you just don't get it. And I'd rather you just say, I don't get it.
Right.
Because I don't always get it.
But there is
I
a
haven't had
procedure.
that, but there
What you
is.
said for the cops, first of all, he's supposed to be a robbery suspect, right? And there is a procedure. So when dude stopped his car, the police guy wasn't even supposed to approach him until the backup
Until the
did
backup
come,
got there.
because he was supposed to be a robbery suspect. So you wait till now that the person complied and stopped their car, he was supposed to wait
Yep.
till another cop car got there.
And that's what I
So
said. He's
they
not on the
pulled-
chase.
Yeah.
So he pulled
Exactly.
over. So that's your anxiety should have already come down six notches. Okay, he pulled over and compliant. Now they sitting there. You could have simply waited for the other car to get there, and then you got your backup to
Right.
say, okay, this is exactly what happened. So now it is left between your word against ours. And it's just a sad situation because you can't tell me, because in the scope of things, we're not saying it's thousands or an astronomical amount, but 1, 2 is too many, because you can't tell me in America if 3 white boys were killed while in routine traffic stops, it would have been a problem a long time ago.
Absolutely.
Even the new recent video of the white guy who, which I think was a suicide, was a police suicide. I don't know if you've seen the video when they kept saying, put your hands up, and he kept going behind his back. You could clearly see that he was in a mental breakdown, but he was doing everything to get the cops to shoot him. But they gave him like 30 commands. Even once he was down on the ground, he then started going, they waited before they even, and they didn't shoot him dead in the middle of his chest. They got him down to the ground, and then when he continued to go on his shirt, this man is clearly saying, I no longer want to be breathing, so could you please go ahead and put me out of my misery. Then they shot him again. These people, Tamir Bryson, they didn't even have an opportunity to have, another, let me see your hands, let me boom, 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 boom. Then you got 9, 12, 16 bullets in you. It's sad. And then the biggest thing, and this is the last thing I'll say, is the fact that now we're exposed to it. Watching somebody murdered on live TV changes you. It changes you. And so not only has his child seen it, children all across America have seen that. And we grow up in a system where you're taught from day one that you're less than. or the only history that we're taught is you was once slave and now you free. Well, from the very beginning, we're on the scale, and then you got all people looking at you like, and then you're always proving that you're the exception to the rule. Oh, you're so articulate. Oh, you're not like those others. It's like, and we have to come out of that mindset. There are things that can be changed in basic America that says your procedures. Because go to Wrigleyville or to Yorktown and set up a roadblock at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Everybody gonna be popping.
But it wouldn't happen one weekend because they're going to make some phone calls down to the city and dare a cop to come back because I'm down here enjoying myself. I'm a Jack Brand American, and if I want to get blasted drunk, I can. Yeah. But of course you got more blacks in jail because that's where they setting up shop.
Yeah. That's why the statistics be all screwed up. Cause they do,
so you can't believe the statistics because they're all skewed because we grow up in a system that says target these people more. We're less than, and you're guilty until you prove that you're innocent.
Just like in Elsner, if you see roadblocks, when you do the roadblocks, they do them right by the library or right over there on Villa Street. Y'all put no roadblocks over there on Randall Road ever.
Sure don't.
Nope.
Y'all put roadblocks over there by Randall Road over by the Walmart or over in that area, coming down there going south. Man, come on.
And like Terrence said, Terrence made a good point that he said now that he has to think, as a black man, he has to think about going out. Like, man, I'll go out and I'm coming back 1 o'clock in the morning. You still should be okay. But if you're having those anxieties that, man, I shouldn't be out here, that's rough, man. We live in a rough spot. Linda, you are our resident 5-0 aficionado. What's your take on all this, man? I'm interested in hearing what you got to say.
The one shooting, the one in Louisiana, that one really bothered me a lot because the report was there's a man out here with a gun threatening people. As an officer, I'm not even a street officer, as a corrections officer, if I get a report somebody has a gun or someone has a knife or any kind of weapon, I'm not bum rushing. That's not my first step. That's not. My first step is send in the gang. We need people over here, and then we gonna take care of it like that. As a police officer in the street, when you come up to a suspect who you suspect has a gun, for your safety, for the safety of your partner, for the safety of everyone around you, you gotta come out. You gotta come out drawn from a distance. Sir, get on the ground. Give them a chance to comply. You ain't. They walked up to him and just rushed him,
Yep.
jumped on him.
Like it was,
You know what I'm saying?
Like it was good activity.
You know what I'm saying? And then you rush him, slam him down to the ground, you pin him down, and then you pull a gun on him. The one guy had the gun in his face. I can't sit there and say like I'm not gonna try to fight that because your natural instincts plus everything that you've seen from the past history, their past record is letting you know, man, I'm gonna die right now.
Yep.
So what I got to lose, I'm pulling it. You know what I mean? So that situation, that's horrible. And then another thing that kills me is when they talk about the all lives matter and blue lives matter, because I have friends who are cops and I understand. But when you see bad procedures, when you see bad cops and you're a good cop, you have to cross that line. I mean, that's the only thing is they have a
no snitching policy.
Right, they have a no snitching policy.
They have a no snitching policy.
You can't cross the blue line. That's what they call it. If you cross the blue line, you tell on your fellow brotherhood they finna ban you or they'll ostracize you, make your life hell. That culture also needs to be changed. That needs to be checked. It's a lot of stuff, man. The white supremacist America is like she said, we are looked at as from the day one as down. Everything that they feed us in the media,
Garbage.
The history that they feed us tells us that we had nothing to do with anything in the world except for be slaves. Right. And and when you tell kids that, and you give kids that, it's pretty much something like, look, you all right, you good, you cool cool to play sports and stuff and entertain us, but other than that, you really ain't shit.
That's true.
And you teach a kid that, and you keep that going in their head. When they get older, they already had that mentality, like, well, I ain't really shit. We don't even value black lives. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been entrenched in us not to. It's just a messed up struggle, man.
It's a massive struggle. Crystal?
I'm more disturbed by the way the system is. It's just so much systematic racism involved. It bothers me. If you are painting a picture that most blacks are criminals from the news, like every report you get, that's what you're fed. This has been going on since I was like, I can remember 5 and 6 watching the news. First thing you see on the news is the criminal reports. And they put the black person's picture up there so fast.
So far.
So we're talking, I was born in 1970, so you're talking about from like, 81 to now, fast forward to, let's say, 2000. Now I want to be a police officer. And I've been fed in my mind, these are the criminals, these are the criminals, these are the criminals. I'm gonna pull a gun on you as soon as I come up to your car.
You think you're a wolf.
You know what I mean? Because that's what you've been fed. Like, you've been fed this, and this is how the media, this is how they painted the black person for so long. So it starts there. And then when I noticed too, whenever there is a crime, I started watching news like, when I was young. And then whenever there was a crime, they didn't show the person. I'm like, well, who did it? Who was the person? They would never show those other people. And at this point, I just want to see the picture.
Right.
I would never see the other pictures because they weren't black people.
And that's the problem when people
That's
say
a huge
That's the
problem.
problem when people say
And then another thing that kills me is when they talk about the all lives matter and blue lives matter. Because I have friends who are cops, and I understand. But when you see bad procedures, when you see bad cops, and you a good cop, you have to cross that line. I mean, that's the only thing is they have a
no snitching policy.
Right, they have a no snitching policy.
They have a no snitching policy.
You can't cross the blue line. That's what they call it. If you cross the blue line, you tell on your fellow brotherhood they finna ban you or they'll ostracize you, make your life hell. That culture also needs to be changed. That needs to be checked. It's a lot of stuff, man. The white supremacist America is, like she said, we are looked at as from the day one as down. Everything that they feed us in the media,
Garbage.
the history that they feed us tells us that we had nothing to do with anything in the world except for be slaves.
Right.
And
No, that's true.
And when you tell kids that, and you give kids that, you ain't, it's pretty much something like, look, you all right, you good, you cool to play sports and stuff and entertain us, but other than that, you really ain't shit.
That's true.
And you teach a kid that, and you keep that going in their head. When they get older, they already had that mentality, like, well, I ain't really shit. We don't even value black lives. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been entrenched in us not to. It's just a messed up struggle, man.
It's a massive struggle. Crystal?
I'm more disturbed by the way the system is. It's just so much systematic racism involved. It bothers me. If you are painting a picture that most blacks are criminals from the news, like every report you get, that's what you're fed. This has been going on since I was like, I can remember 5 and 6 watching the news. First thing you see on the news is the criminal reports. And they put the black person's picture up there so fast.
So far.
So we're talking, I was born in 1970, so you're talking about from like, 81 to now, fast forward to, let's say, 2000. Now I want to be a police officer. And I've been fed in my mind, these are the criminals, these are the criminals, these are the criminals. I'm gonna pull a gun on you as soon as I come up to your car.
You think you're a wolf.
You know what I mean? Because that's what you've been fed. Like, you've been fed this, and this is how the media, this is how they painted the black person for so long. So it starts there. And then when I noticed too, whenever there is a crime, I started watching news like, when I was young. And then whenever there was a crime, they didn't show the person. I'm like, well, who did it? Who was the person? You know, they would never show those other people. And at this point, I just want to see the picture.
Right.
I would never see the other pictures because they weren't black people.
And that's the problem when people
That's
say,
a huge
that's the problem
problem.
when people say, well, what about black on black crime? Of course, that's terrible, but that's what they show. That's what they're only telling
That's what
us
they're
in the
showing.
world. So we can't just, what about black crime? We ain't the only one killing our people. White people killing white people.
They absolutely are.
I think, it's who you around most, statistics gonna show that's who killing each other. But they only show the south side when it's around Chicago, and they show the west side, and that's it.
Go and look at the rapes that happened in Lincoln Park, Wrigleyville. You hear about somebody was jogging, they got raped, sexually assaulted. You never see the picture of the rapist.
When I worked in the group home in Larkin Center, right? They gave us, a sheet of all of the child molesters all around the area, and I seen photos. I mean, like mostly white people.
Mostly white people.
Like probably 95%.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just looking at the different places they live and stuff like that. Like, wow, like they everywhere. Everywhere.
That's true.
And why aren't those pictures shown up, put up there? Why aren't they displayed for who they are or what they've done? Because the system has been taught to protect their own.
Yes.
We are not their own.
Yeah.
The system is set up that way to put them out there like this. So then that even if you have black officers and cops that are out there, they're scared of the black people because that's what they've been,
Yeah.
So that's my biggest issue with this and the racial profiling. If you get, and they did talk about in the Philando case, the officer, the reason why that hasn't been brought up yet, because they say they normally don't release that information until the case is closed or whatever. But there was a 911 call, or the dispatch call, the officer saying, I think this may be the robbery because I see flared nostrils.
Right. Wow.
Flared nostrils.
I'd have been shot that day. We all been shot that day.
I probably did the robbery if that's the case. But so just the level of racial profiling is so disturbing, and that's what you're gonna racial profile. If you see a black person, I had an incident in the office the other day. It's so funny. My boss, and I don't know. I think I saw a video too, and a white person came out and they admitted a lot of us, and he said a lot of us aren't even conscious of it. And I can't blame all white people because they think the way they think, and they may not know why. I know why, but they don't even realize what's going on.
Right.
So my boss the other day, he put a toy or something, because they play in the office. He put a toy on my desk or whatever. He said, I gotta go to a meeting, leave it here. Another one of my coworkers, she was like, did he leave this at your desk? I'm like, yeah, he left it here. She's like, oh, I'm gonna take it from him. Don't tell him that I took it. She's of another race. She's not black. She's a white lady. And so my boss came back, and he was like, well, where did it go? I'm like, oh, whatchamacallit took it. She's playing around, so he went to her desk. Did you have where is it? I don't know what she's talking about. She's playing with them. He completely automatically believed her. And he didn't go in,
Okay.
but just behind
Her
credibility was already way up here. And I can't, and I know they don't want to say you pull the race card. Do I think my boss is racist? Absolutely not. Do I feel he has a systematic way of thinking because of color? Absolutely. And that may be, we can flip it around. If you have to choose somebody to link up with when you're taking a test, a math test or a science test, and you have to choose an Asian, a black, or a white, who are you going to choose to link up with? You're probably going to choose the Asian.
I like how you move like that.